Former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has served notice once again that the coalition to oust President Bola Tinubu out of office through elections in 2027 is seriously on course. And he said that President Bola Tinubu will be sent back to Lagos in 2027. He said that the coalition to send Bola Tinubu back to Lagos, where he belongs, is on course and nothing is shaking about it. Malam Nasir El-Rufai spoke when he talked to journalists at Arewa Take Fest that was held in Kaduna recently. So the former governor, who used to be a chieftain of the APC, of the ruling APC, or Progressive Congress, and who fought very hard for President Bola Tinubu to be, quote and unquote, elected president in 2023, is serving notice that the determination to ensure that Bola Tinubu is sent back to Lagos is on course. And according to what he said to the journalists, he said they had a meeting on May 20th, that's on Tuesday night, as part of effort to ensure that Tinubu is sent back to Lagos in 2027. Malam Nasir El-Rufai spoke on Wednesday, May 21st, in Abuja, in Kaduna, talking about the way forward for the coalition to oust Bola Tinubu through the democratic process in 2027. And Malam Nasir El-Rufai did not stop there. Malam Nasir El-Rufai said that anybody who thinks that President Bola Tinubu will be re-elected in 2027 is not living in Nigeria. The person is living in another country. He said that the political climate and the public sentiment has shifted against the ruling party. That is what we're going to talk about in this video. Is Tinubu beatable? Can Tinubu be sent back to Lagos in 2027? Like Michael Corleone will say in The Godfather, it is difficult, but not impossible. Why is it difficult? Let us look at the difficult part of it. Then we tell you the possibility of ensuring that Bola Tinubu goes back to Lagos. Because indeed, he can be sent back to Lagos, but it is difficult, not impossible. What are the difficult parts? The difficult parts of it is that, one, President Bola Tinubu is the incumbent president. Remember that President Bola Tinubu was able to fight internal battle, even to get the APC nomination when he was just the national leader of the party. It was a position that ordinarily there shouldn't be such a position. Muhammad Buhari, as the sitting president then, ought to be the only national party. But for whatever reason, Bola Tinubu was addressed as the national leader of the party, a position he was supposedly sharing with President Muhammad Buhari. Now, he did everything possible to be the candidate, but there were those who didn't want him to emerge. He was able to ward off all those people, including President Muhammad Buhari at the time, who we understand was already rooting for was already rooting for Ahmad Lawan, the then Senate president, to be the preferred candidate of the North, because President Muhammad Buhari, instead of agreeing for the power to go to the South, was said to have supported people like Abdullahi Adamu, the then national chairman of APC, that the power should remain in the North. So the preferred candidate was Ahmad Lawan. But the Madam Nasir El-Rufai and others revolted and said that no, they have to keep the agreement for the power to move to the South. It was in that kind of situation that Bola Tinubu emerged, and his emergence was with a lot of problem, and that's why you see the hatred that Bola Tinubu has towards this former central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele. All these things happening to Emefiele is not because Bola Tinubu is an apostle of anti-corruption. That's not it. It's because of how Emefiele allegedly played a role that have hurt Tinubu politically. All those change of currency and all those things, the scarcity of fuel and everything that happened. He blamed Emefiele of playing a key role in that, and Emefiele was following the directive of Buhari. So he was able to ward off all this opposition, and then, lucky enough for him, he had INEC on his side. Because if you listen to an interview that former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Chibikamechi, gave shortly after that election, you know that the INEC chairman was literally a candidate of Bola Tinubu. That's what Rotimi Amechi said, that they oppose his Yakubu being national chairman, but Tinubu and co were those that supported him, and they carried the day, and it reflected in the election at the end of the day. So Tinubu was able to ward off a lot of things and emerge as the candidate of the party, and then INEC did the magic they did on the election day, and he became president. So somebody coming from that kind of opposition within his own party, opposition from even the incumbent president that didn't want him to emerge and triumph, and now he is a sitting president. Okay, now he's a sitting president. The INEC chairman that he literally was on the side of, that INEC chairman, Yakubu, who was appointed by Buhari, is going away. He is retiring. And Tinubu is in a position to appoint his own INEC chairman. So you can see that INEC will be on the side of Bola Tinubu ahead of 2027, because he's going to appoint a new INEC chairman. He has already appointed the Chief Justice of Nigeria from Lagos State. So if there is a dispute in the election, who will take it to the courts of a Lagosian to superintend over it at the Supreme Court? He already has the security on his side. The police IG is supposed to retire, but they are keeping him. They extended his tenure so that he will pretend over the election. That is a favor he has done to the IG. Okay, that is expected to pay off at the right time. He has the security people that always have influence in the election, one way or the other. They are on his side. INEC is on his side. The judiciary is on his side. And he is Bola Tinubu, who also understands how to play the game. Look at the wave of defections to APC, even as his government remain one of the most ineffective government in our history. People are defecting to APC. So all these add to make things difficult for anybody who thinks of sending him back to Lagos. But despite all this, the coalition can still send Tinubu back to Lagos, as El-Rufai said. How is it going to be possible for that to happen? The opposition must ensure there are certain amendments that must be made on the Electoral Act. One key amendment that must be made is that INEC should not and must not be allowed to conduct the election, collate the result anyhow they like. That idea of INEC choosing any method they like to collate the result, to count it, and to present the result, that power must be taken away from INEC. If that power is not taken away from INEC, it will be very problematic to be able to send Tinubu back to Lagos. This is because when you give several options to INEC on how to collate, therefore they will be monitoring the situation, and the one that will favor Bola Tinubu will be the one they will choose. But if the necessary amendments, like all this rubbish about sending people to jail if they didn't vote on election day, that energy should have been put into the Electoral Act to ensure that electronic transmission of the result is compulsory, is mandatory, and that INEC will have no option but that electronic transmission of result. And there must be accommodation that in the situation room of INEC, all the political parties will be represented and not just INEC staff sitting there. So the back end of the INEC, IRIV and everything, INEC people cannot be the people sitting there alone on election day. There had to be an amendment that give the IT specialists from various political parties to have presence and representation at that situation room, so that they will be monitoring whatever is going on, how the figures are dropping and where it is coming from, and everything else, taking their own records, ensuring that nothing is tampered with electronically. These are the two key things that the coalition must put their mind to ensure that the President Bola Tinubu does not have a runaway victory. Runaway victory not because Nigerians will vote for him. Runaway victory because INEC can manipulate the election easily for him. That is the aspect that need to be taken care of. Now, when you take care of that at the technical end, it means that you are now ready for the election. So that is the agenda the coalition should be pushing for right now, so that it will not come at the tail end as we are nearing the election. Then this kind of issue will be brought up. Right now we have 2 years before the election. Is when to ensure that INEC is reformed and all these issues, especially electronic transmission of result, made compulsory. And at the back end of INEC people, officials cannot be the only people sitting at that back end. All the political parties should have representation, and the parties will send their IT specialists who could be able to decode when something when somebody is trying to manipulate the process in that kind of situation. So that if that can be taken care of, I believe strongly before 12 p.m. on election day, Tinubu will be sent back to Lagos. That is my view. And I strongly believe it because I don't see how Tinubu can survive given his abysmal performance in office, given that everything has deteriorated since he became president. The naira deteriorated, the cost of living deteriorated, the killers are on rampage everywhere. We have never witnessed the kind of killings we are witnessing in Nigeria right now. We have never witnessed the kind of poverty we are witnessing right now. Everything is just heading south. So there is enough anger to be able to send him back to Lagos. But for that to happen, the right thing that must be done is electoral reform. If that electoral reform is not done, the INEC is already in his pocket. The current INEC is in his pocket, and he's going to remake INEC in his own image. Very soon he's going to appoint a new INEC chairman. And Bola Tinubu is not going to do like Jonathan, who appointed somebody who kicked him out of office. Tinubu is going to appoint somebody who will sustain him in office. And the only way that person can be put in check is through electoral reform, by ensuring that the options left for that person is narrowed down to just one. And then at the back end of INEC Arif, it cannot be only INEC officials that should be there. The political parties must have representation. If these things are taken care of, then Bola Tinubu will be sent back to his Lagos by 12 noon on election day. Now, for you to understand that this is a fact, look at his performance. Despite all the money that he has, despite all the billions that he spent in 2023, look at his performance. If not for INEC help, look at, with all the help of INEC, he was able to get 8.7 million votes with the billions spent and everything else. Look at Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar got 6.9 million votes. Peter Obi got 6.1 million votes. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso got 1.4 million votes. Now, if you calculate the votes that Atiku got, Peter Obi got, and Peter Obi's vote was massively cut, and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso got, their votes, if you calculate it, they are almost double the vote of Bola Tinubu. So ordinarily, it means that the voters, those whose vote were counted, even by INEC, rejected Bola Tinubu to be their president. So he has the least mandate in Nigeria's history to become president, 8.7 million. Whereas almost 15 million people that voted that they said, we don't want Tinubu to be our president. So he is living on a mandate that is the tiniest mandate in Nigeria's history. And with his performance, that tiny mandate has already been blotted out. People are now, even those who voted for him, they are regretting that they voted for him. So a whole lot of things are working against him. So he is very beatable. He is very beatable. Nigerians never liked him because of the baggage he came with. But all those baggage was taken care of by the Supreme Court. And now he has a Supreme Court that is made in his own image. So for you to beat Bola Tinubu, you have to take care of the technical end that I talked about. Then you now talk about mobilizing the people to defend the vote physically. Because while it is important to protect the vote electronically through the Electoral Act, Nigerian people also must show determination that enough is enough. With all that said, I think Madam Nasir El-Rufai is right. Tinubu can be sent back to Lagos on May 29, 2027. It is doable. It is difficult, not impossible. Let me borrow the word of Michael Corleone in The Godfather. I don't know what to think about Madam Nasir El-Rufai's position that Tinubu will be sent back to Lagos. Some people are arguing that it is not possible, that Tinubu is a political heavyweight. He's not like Jonathan. It's not like this, it's not like that. But with my analysis. What do you think? Can Tinubu be sent back to Lagos? I believe he can. It is difficult, not impossible. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.